across the land. If you listen, you can hear it well, my friend. We know the time has come to take our heads out of the sand.
Aloha, namaste, and welcome to the first podcast of our new Grandmothers Unite movement, MAKA, Make America Kind Again. I'm Grami Dodi from West Virginia.
And I'm Nana D from the beautiful state of Maine.
Hey, that's not fair. We chose MAKA, that's M-A-K-A, as an acronym for the phrase, Make America Kind Again. You see, as grandmothers, Nana D and I, we're actually shocked by the insulting use of disrespectful language in today's public discourse, especially with its bad influence on our children. Maya Angelou, our mentor and the world's great grandmother of words, explains better than we can why we are here.
Words are things, I'm convinced. You must be careful about the words you use, or the words you allow to be used in your house. In the Old Testament, we are told in Genesis that in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. That's in Genesis. Words are things. You must be careful. Careful about calling people out of their names, using racial pejoratives and sexual pejoratives and all that ignorance. Don't do that. Someday we'll be able to measure the power of words. I think they are things. I think they get on the walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, in your clothes, and finally into you.
Thank you, Maya. And she would love our MAKA movement, Make America Kind Again. We're here now because Nana D and I are grandmothers of action. We say, don't feel helpless, let's do something. That's what Maya asked us to do. Even better, we have a plan about what we all can do together. We are determined to be heard on behalf of good language. Stay with us while we explain our plan to turn back the tide of disrespect now growing in America. First of all, we think it's time for a new hat. So Nana D, would you please tell us a little more about MAKA and the plans we have ahead?
Yes, Grami Dodi. Our plan for this Grandmothers Unite MAKA podcast is to encourage all of us to come together to politely demand more civilized public dialogue from our leaders and public influencers. We're bringing grandmother wisdom to the way that we speak and talk about one another. We know that when we uplift public discourse with respect, the issues that divide us will be less likely to bring harm. Maya would ask us to rise up and to inspire you, our already kind listeners, to step up with us, to champion kindness and respectful language, one person at a time. Our goal is for the people our children hear in the media reflect an American community built on healthy, honest dialogue that respects our differences rather than disparaging them. Make America Kind Again flows from the idea that while Americans haven't always been perfect, we know that, or even perfectly good,
Right?
we haven't ever been so intentionally mean. This public tone of mean-spiritedness must be stopped. And you know what? Grandmothers are just the people to do it. So as we move to a kinder national discourse, the issues that concern us will, I think, naturally improve.
I do too.
And the changes we need in our country can be made with kindness at their core.
Yes, that's our goal. It's really cool. When we started using MAKA as an acronym, we discovered that MAKA already has kindness at its core. You see, MAKA is actually a beautiful word all by itself in several languages. In Native Hawaiian, MAKA is the word for an intimate friend. For the Lakota Sioux, Maka means earth, symbolizing the connection between humans and nature, and is also Mother Earth, a revered figure in Native spirituality. Finally, in Japanese, my favorite, Maka refers to something mysteriously wonderful and awesome. These core meanings of Maka as a word enriches our cause and highlights the full embrace of kindness. So Nana D, we have a symbol for our Maka movement, right?
Yes, we do, Grami Dodi. We have an awesome symbol. Words hold immense power, and the words inscribed at the base of the Statue of Liberty inspired us to choose her as our Maka symbol. Her torch of freedom mirrors Paul Revere's lantern that he carried on April 19th, 1775, shining against the tyranny of British dominance. Now we are honoring Lady Liberty as our Maka shining light, a symbol of hope for all of us. In our great country, built by generations of immigrants, like my grandmother who came here from Italy, Our Lady Liberty was the first sight she saw when she arrived in the US. The compelling words on the base of the Statue of Liberty are, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." The MAKA movement aims to rekindle Lady Liberty's light as a beacon of respect. She reminds us that the powerful words carry the values of mutual respect and hope that we want our children to hear because they are listening.
You know, Nana D, that I have personally experienced the fact that our children are listening. As you know, I've spent 30 years working with my 12 Habits for All of Us project that inspires youth and families to be their best selves and to practice values of mutual respect. That's why my heart's just been broken when I see and hear the sometimes cruel and even dehumanizing language that adults are using today when they speak about one another. During elections, every time I went to town, I had to pass by a huge flag in a yard that read the name of one of our presidents and then the word SUCKS. I thought of all the children who passed by that flag too. Children who I had worked so hard to teach tolerance and kindness to. One of the kids on my street asked me, "Why is there a bad word on that flag?" Our leaders set the example that our children follow. Therefore, we grandmothers must now demand and champion respectful discourse in the public arena. That is why we created our MAKA hats as a symbol of kind language that we all can wear. You can order one or a few right now on our website, and we'll tell you how later. So, it's time for a new hat about kindness in America, a hat that Our Lady of Liberty would be proud to wear. Timing is critical because our children are listening. They're listening now, and they are already being changed by the negative, disrespectful language they're hearing.
Yes, we as grandmothers launched MAKA because our children are listening. This is intended to be an American national movement, and we warmly invite grandmothers of all sizes, shapes, and
I
heritages.
love that.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't even have to have grandchildren. Oh, you don't even have to be a woman to join us. Honorary grandmothers include all who believe in common sense and good manners in the way that we treat one another. So whether you're a man, a woman, a young person, or a person of choice, we welcome you.
Hopefully, Nana D and I have caught your attention. So it's time to invite you to get into some powerful stand-up action with us. Why? Because the trend towards offensive language in our public discourse is not going to go away easily. First, we encourage all of us to become what we've come to call mindful language observers. This means mindfully noticing and jotting down your own experiences of offensive language from public influencers that you hear in person or on the media. You know, we already send letters to politicians all the time to protest stuff and influence their votes. So this is a powerful but fun variation of that idea. We've created a new type of protest letter. We call it an offensive language citation. You can download a language citation for free from our website at 12habitsforallofus.org, which you will see printed on screen throughout this podcast. Now, as language observers, you can send offensive language citations when you hear toxic language from an offending politician in public where our children can hear. Just download a language citation, fill it out with the offensive language, the day, the time, the event where the language was spoken, and send it to the offender at their office. Besides sending language citations and wearing MAKA hats, you can also stand up for our children by helping grow Make America Kind Again into a national movement. Just spread the word about MAKA and these podcasts out to your own network of friends and family. Most important, let us know if you'd like to be a MAKA leader in your community and perhaps hold a Make America Kind Again rally. Contact us through this website and we'll reach back and help you personally. If you're here listening to us, you are likely already someone who tries to spread kindness in your life. That's why you're just the perfect person to help us protest against dangerous language from people who are not trying to be kind. Sending offenders your language citations will also help raise funds because each letter carries a fine of $99.99.
Cents on sale now.
That's on sale, right? Payable to the nonprofit All of Us Incorporated. We figured these citations are a pretty cool way for you to create awareness, hold offenders accountable, and help MAKA grow with money from the offenders themselves. So let's flood their mailboxes with language citations, encouraging respectful discourse. All proceeds support the growth of this Grandmothers Unite MAKA movement. Our passion for kindness isn't new. 12 Habits for All of Us has been working since 1993, successfully inspiring good values and kindness in youth and families in communities across America and even in Africa.
Yes.
This is more than 30 years of proven success. As one of our youth wrote on a survey, I am now nice to the people I used to be mean to. Successful changes toward kindness don't get any better than that.
No, they don't get any better than that. That is a powerful statement. And you will see that Grandma Dodi and I agree that it's time for a new hat in America, a MAKA, Make America Kind Again hat. We need to use our influence to tone down the abusive and toxic rhetoric that is so dangerous. So whether you send a citation, a language citation, or you don a MAKA hat, you're helping to send the message that we want more kindness and mutual respect in America. So when you wear a MAKA hat, you show your commitment to our children proudly, and you support the Grandmothers Unite MAKA movement. So you will see on the front of these hats is the MAKA logo and our symbol, the Lady of Liberty. And on the back, my favorite part, is the words, our children are listening. So when you wear one of these hats, you will enjoy engaging with other already kind people in an inspiring way and be part of a shared kindness movement.
So you've heard our passion and our plan. If you still have any doubts about how serious the language problem is in America and how much your voice is needed, please listen for a minute to award-winning author Brene Brown on why words matter now more than ever.
The process of dehumanization is the process that we use to slowly, primarily using words and images, nothing more, moving people out of, I want to use this table as an example, or this coffee. So here's a group of people that we want to harm. It's a group of people that we hate, a group of people that a leader has told us, here, this tea right here is the cause of all your pain and suffering. So we hate these people and we want to hurt them and we want to see them diminished. But they're within this moral protective zone that we have as humans. So slowly over time, we start using words and images of them that dehumanize them, that move them slowly and slowly and slowly into what we call moral exclusion. They no longer are protected by what we believe is human basic rights. What's happening in our country right now, from the leadership to the resistance.
Yep.
No one has high ground here. We are slowly allowing ourselves to start using dehumanizing language to describe people with whom we disagree.
Yes.
Which then makes it okay to physically hurt them. And when we use dehumanizing language, it says much more about us than the people that we're railing against. And I think, honestly, it chips away at our soul.
Just so you know what actions lie ahead, we will air MAKA with Grami, Dodi, and Nana D podcasts regularly on Substack, YouTube, and other platforms. Future podcasts will feature guests with viewpoints from youth and from topical experts on the power of words, interviews, and some interactive audience discussions about our rallies and progress towards more kindness. Go to the website, as you'll see on the screen, to sign in so we can send you the podcast links and keep you updated. Together, we will expand the reach of the Grandmothers Unite MAKA movement when you help MAKA expand by sending podcast links to your own social network and email lists. We also invite you to share your stories with us and send us comments and ideas for podcast guests who understand the power of words, as Maya Angelou and Brene Brown do. We look forward to hearing from you. When you go to the website, check out our many other peace and good values projects and get your MAKA hat at the shop. Also, don't forget to download a few language citations to have on hand while you are being mindful language observers. We invite you to join us on behalf of our children. Become part of this Make America Kind Again MAKA movement. We're taking real, concrete action together, and it's long overdue.
Yes, it is.
Like our grandmothers, we have grandmothers, said, if you can't say something nice about someone, don't say anything at all. Remember, to make sure you catch our next podcast, go to the website and subscribe. Our children are listening, and we thank you for listening too. I'm Grami Dodi.
And I'm Nana D, and that's all for now. We'll catch up again in future podcasts, or maybe even at the next Grandmothers Unite rally near you. All of us wearing our MAKA hats proudly. And remember, it's time for a new hat.
And together, we can do this. Thank you for spending this time with us.
We hope to see you again soon. Our next podcast will feature perspectives from our young people.
Okay, over and out.